For today's project, we're going to become chemical engineers to create a foamy chemical reaction scientists like to call elephant toothpaste. We're going to use hydrogen peroxide, yeast, some water, and a bunch of other materials to create this reaction. Let's get started.
Now that we know what we're making, let's make sure that we have all of our materials ready. For this project, we'll need a class set of the following. You'll need to measure out 1/2 cup of hydrogen peroxide, 1/4 cup of dish soap. You'll need 2 or 3 things of food coloring with about 3 drops for each student. You'll need 1 packet of active yeast, 1 9-ounce paper cup, 1 plastic bottle that can really be any size. You'll need 1 large popsicle stick. You'll need 1 table cover that you can put down for the class to keep it clean. You will need 1 or 2 sets of measuring cups. It's good to have maybe 2 sets per 7 students. You'll need 1 pair of kids' goggles, a pair of disposable gloves, as well as a funnel. And for the funnel, you might want 1 of these per 4 students. In addition to that, it's good to have an empty project bin if you can empty one out, and we can use this to do the project inside of here if you want to make sure that you are being extra clean. Before we begin, let's talk about the importance of chemical safety. When working with chemicals, let's make sure to wear protective goggles, glasses, and gloves for the entire experiment. So that way we don't get any chemicals or stains on ourselves or our clothes or in anywhere sensitive. And you also want to make sure to wash your hands thoroughly after we do the experiment with soap to remove any extra chemicals that might be on your hands. So now that we have all of our materials ready and we've talked about safety, let's start creating our project.
Let's start the experiment. First, make sure you do this experiment outside or put your bottle inside a mini tub, like how I've done right here, to make cleaning up easier. First, let's grab our gloves and put them on. Make sure we're protected. And then we're going to start putting things inside of our bottle. And the first thing you're going to need is the hydrogen peroxide, which I have right here, and our measuring cups, and our funnel. I'm going to put my funnel right here so we can start putting our chemicals inside the bottle. And what I'm going to do is I need to measure out 1/2 cups of hydrogen peroxide. And using the funnel, I'm going to pour it into the bottle. So 1/2 cups is about 8 tablespoons. So I have tablespoons right here. Tablespoons. I'm going to start measuring it out, opening up the hydrogen peroxide. Pour it over. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. I'll do this in second now. There we go. And now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to grab our dish soap, and we're also going to pour this inside the bottle. We just need 1 tablespoon of it, so I'm going to keep my tablespoon out. Using my dish soap, I'm going to now pour 1 tablespoon over. Pour it in. So let it funnel in. Bubbles. For the dish soap, it doesn't have to be exact. So if you estimate it, that's also fine. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab our coloring dye or food dye. like right here. And I'm gonna grab 2 or 3 of my favorite colors, right? So I really like the color sky blue, and let's also do pink. There we go. And what we're going to do is we're going to drop a few drops of food coloring around the inside of the bottle. And then make sure to switch the colors to either create a striped pattern or maybe a mix of all colors together. I'm going to take this funnel off real quick. Put it in there. And then I'm just going to drop on the edge just a bit of the pink. You see right here. You can see how it drops down. Whoops. No, that's fine if it goes down like that. We just want it to be on the edge. So you can lift it up too, just be careful. Drop it down so it lines down. Just a few drops is enough. Grab your other color. Do the same thing. Go. Some of it overlaps, that's fine. We're gonna get some interesting colors. Ooh, making some purple. There we go. And then now that we have our bottle ready, what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna take our cup and our yeast. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open up the yeast and I'm gonna pour it inside the cup. But only pour half of it. We only need half of these. We don't need the whole packet. Okay, there we go. If you have some scissors on hand, it might be more useful. There we go. That's about half. Leave the rest. Cool. And then we're going to grab the water from before, my water in my cup. Make sure it's warm or room temperature water. Cold water doesn't work as well. And then this is already 3 tablespoons. Make sure you measure out 3 tablespoons in here. And then you're going to put this water with the yeast. I'm going to grab a popsicle stick. This is going to be my stirring stick. I'm going to stir it up. Make sure it's all mixed up, like so. Put this in here. Actually, I'll put it in here. These in here. Put the bottle on this end. Now that we have our cup of yeast water, we can move on to testing. Let's test our elephant toothpaste. To test it, all we have to do is pour the yeast mixture into the bottle and quickly step back and watch the reaction. This process happens rather quickly, so make sure you pour as fast as you can. I'm going to demonstrate this now. We're going to see the reaction. Wow, there we go. Nice purple, blue, slightly pink color scheme. Awesome. Now let's talk about the project. Now that we're done testing, let's talk about how it works. Our project works because of hydrogen peroxide breaking down. Yeast has a special chemical called catalase, and catalase speeds up the breaking down of hydrogen peroxide to release oxygen. The oxygen then reacts with the dish soap to create bubbles, and with the dish soap, it makes the bubbles last longer, and bigger. Some questions you can ask your students would be, was the reaction a success? What would we need for a bigger reaction? And what can we change about the procedure next time to improve the project?